Previously, we reviewed how to manage payroll using basic and additional settings, focusing only on a fixed base salary. In that setup, salary calculation was based solely on standard working hours, without considering overtime or underwork. In this video, we will explore how to manage payroll based on timesheets. Fixed salary payments. In the basic setup, when configuring the employee profile, the field employee is paid is set to fixed amount. This means the employee receives the salary specified in the basic salary field. In this case, regardless of the timesheet data, payments are calculated only from the base salary plus any specified allowances and deductions. Payroll based on timesheets. To calculate salary based on actual worked hours, go to Settings, Payroll, Employer Settings, and Configure Daily Rate Calculation. Specify how to calculate working days. By calendar, by employer settings, by time slot settings. Then open Payroll Employee List, edit the employee profile, and set employee is paid to based on timesheet. The system will divide the basic salary by the planned working hours to calculate an hourly rate, which is then multiplied by the approved worked hours. Next, open the timesheet and record the work time. Payments are made only for approved hours. If you try to create a pay run before approval, the salary will be shown as 0. The timesheet should be submitted and then approved. In this example, the employee worked 1 hour less than the scheduled time, which is why the final salary will be lower. Then the pay run will display the base salary calculated according to the actual hours worked. All additional payments will appear under Payments according to the configured data. Payments according to wage rate. When creating a project, you can define 2 wage rates: employee wage rate, the cost per hour paid to the employee, and customer wage rate, the hourly rate billed to the client. Employees log their hours in a timesheet and submit it for approval. Once approved, you can create a timesheet invoice for the client based on the customer wage rate. To do this, go to Sales Invoice, add Timesheet Invoice, select the customer, choose the project, and set the date range. When creating a timesheet invoice, you can choose how the data should be displayed. Detailed View. This report shows full information about which employee worked how many hours and on which project. You can also select exactly which details to include in the invoice. Grouped by assignees, the data is grouped by employees. For each employee, you will see the total hours and costs across projects. Grouped by task. The data is grouped by tasks, showing the total cost for each task completed. Grouped by project. The system displays the summary for each project, showing the total hours and costs at the project level. To pay employees based on their project wage rate, set in the employee profile the field employee is paid payment by timesheet hours only. The system will then calculate salaries during pay run according to the employee wage rate set in the project. Overtime accounting. To pay employees for overtime hours, go to Settings, Payroll, Employer Settings, and configure how overtime should be calculated, by days or by months. Next, set up categories in Settings, Payroll categories. Locate the categories Overtime, Overtime Regular, Overtime Weekend, and Overtime Holiday, and define from which account to which account the amounts will be posted. Then, open the employee profile and in the field employee is paid, select based on timesheet because overtime can only be paid when this payment type is chosen. After that, in overtime settings, select the category and specify the overtime rate. You can set a fixed amount or a percentage of the base salary, depending on the calculation type chosen in settings. For daily calculation, it's better to use a fixed amount. For monthly calculation, a percentage. Now, let's fill out a timesheet. Add overtime hours for a regular day, a weekend, and a holiday. Submit the timesheet for approval. Approve it. And then, when creating a pay run, the system will display overtime payments under the selected categories in the payment section. Using these payroll functions makes employee payment management more transparent, flexible, and accurate. Sign up now for a free trial on kpi.com. Questions or queries can be sent to email or WhatsApp.